ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to the ESL One Hamburg Group Stage's final day, final match. We've done it. We've gone the distance. It's happened. It's finally here. We are in Group B, and it is Aster versus Forward Gaming. Aster able to win off the back of some Invoker and Faceless Void plays, and I'm pretty sure as soon as we took the headsets off, you guys looked at each other, and you said they need to take Cataclysm out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that spell's pretty ridiculous. You don't have to aim it. You just use it globally. And you have over 1,000 pure damage. You just need to stun someone for less than 2 seconds. That's it.
I mean, they were basically just playing for Cataclysm that game, right? Invoker bought Midas to get level 20 faster. They had the setup. It was that was all that they needed to really win those team fights. I don't like it. It just comparing it to lots of other level 20 talents, it feels super broken. Compared to the Alacrity talent feels pretty useless, to be honest. I feel like Cataclysm is always the right choice.
What about plus 75 shuriken damage, level 20 talent on Bounty?
Now
that's pretty balanced.
that's very balanced. That's some good balance right there.
Well, it was a still very entertaining game, and that's the type of thing too, is that, like, sure, it's very difficult, but part of the problem that we identified was that Forward Gaming wasn't really able to put on the pressure against that Invoker. You had talked about right at the beginning of the game that you felt like it was a very greedy build. He went double null tally into Midas. Yeah. He didn't even have boots.
He owned his lane, though. That was the other thing, right? Like, he solo killed Excalibur. I think by the 10-minute mark or so, that it would even out a little bit more in terms of CS. But
that's when he had his Midas.
Yeah, I think he would have continued to have won even harder on the CS if he'd gone for like the phase boots and stuff like that. The only reason that Excalibur caught back up is because he was going for the Midas build. But he was playing for the long game more than anything.
Totally. Well, impressive stuff in game number 1. And we do have another one coming up very shortly. 9 out of 10 players in the lobby. I'm kind of curious to see if they decide to go for a similar route. Maybe if they want to try and switch up their drafting at all. And then on the Forward Gaming side, like, do they prioritize the Ogre more heavily now and maybe ban that one out? It wasn't like the biggest deal in the world, but I don't know. It felt like it was sort of, I mean, do you think about a first phase Invoker ban? Lots of questions.
I don't think so. I think Forward will just play their own game, maybe try to practice a team play with Excalibur, maybe just gel things up a little bit, and that's it. They're not going to reveal any of the picks they have since they are already through.
Yeah. And they're going to be, well, they'll be first pick probably this game, so because it was Aster were first pick previous game.
These stones, they have first pick.
Okay, so they wanted side?
That might be left over from last game.
Okay, wait.
That might be left over from last game.
Had a selection priority, and they got first pick.
Okay. Well, that was the previous game, isn't it?
We will find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know if there's any conversation in the new lobby just yet. So it could be that Forward this time around will have first pick. And that might change things a little bit because they might be able to... One, they won't necessarily... They were the one that banned the Wisp the last game, right? Because they didn't have first pick, so they had to ban it. This time around, it might be Aster who has to ban it instead. And so they'll be able to get either like the Universe Tiny or the Universe Axe through into the pool, which could be pretty nice. He played well on the Centaur, but I think those two heroes have a little bit more lane presence. So maybe look at that.
Love to see. Lots to discuss for both of these teams, obviously. So we continue our coverage here, the Vodafone pregame, and there is still matches going on the other side. I believe that...
Yeah, NIP versus Complexity is still going on right now. 73 minutes.
Ooh. Jackie Mao with...
Yeah.
I mean, that's Scam Jackie Mao, 900 CS.
On Spectre. We got Spectre versus Arc Warden. The Spectre has a Hex and a Abyssal Blade.
Oh, I love that type of a build. That's really cool. What's level 25 talent did he go?
Dispersion.
Okay.
Gabe, do you ever take the Haunt illusion damage?
I've seen pros take it, and I've taken it myself as well. You have to go for something different. So you have to go like a stats build. So like Scotty is one that people sometimes go for, and then also taking a Moon Shard, actually. Well, yeah, obviously Diffusal. So Diffusal, Manta, and then some have gone with like a Moon Shard in their inventory. Because what happens is you have these like really squishy supports that just can't deal with the damage that the illusion comes out. And then they also go Refresher. So you can just pop Refresher, double ulti, and if you take the Haunt damage at level 25, you're dealing 100% of your hero damage on each of the illusions. So it's kind of cool. You know? I don't know if it's good enough, but it's one of those things that has been slowly getting buff and buff and buff. It might eventually become too big.
Yeah, it could be that a lot of these talents where one of them is just considered completely useless and the other one is taken all the time, we often see a little nerf on the OP talent and then a little buff on the underappreciated talent until eventually it flips over and the talent that was considered to be trash is all of a sudden like the build every single game. So it could happen.
So you were correct. There's Forward Gaming with the first pick, and Team Aster, they're going to be Dire in this game.
Interesting that they want Dire. Maybe that's like is that a Sylar thing? Because the tri-camp area is better for carries on the Dire side. I think that's like the only thing that Dire really has going for them. I think Radiant has better Roshan control. I like their lanes a little bit more. I think I like the Radiant off lane more than I like the Dire off lane.
Oh, definitely. For me, it's easier to pull. Just in general, it's more natural to attack from left to right and from from down to up. I think
the thing with the Radiant, though, and the Roche in particular, is like it's easier to sort of get in there and take it, but oftentimes the fights sprawl a little bit. And I think in that way, sometimes Dire can be in a better position because that choke point, particularly on the Dire side, like we saw in that last engagement, they like ran through the river to try and get up in a position, and then they got triple chronoed. I guess that might sometimes be the Dire heroes that are moving into that position, but you can come in from the top, whereas with Radiant, you're only coming in from the southwest. So I don't know. It's a weird one, right?
I hate when people start using things like southwest,
cardinal
northeast.
directions.
I don't know. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, I think I said southeast in the last game at one point.
What do you want me to say? From the bottom left?
Yes.
Bottom right, bottom left? Okay.
Well, we're going to be moving on to the north.
It's more of a meme than actual truth. I know where the sides of the world are, but just for the people in general.
What direction are we facing right now, Lacoste?
Right now, we're facing the cameras.
That's great. That's for you guys. We do have 10 out of 10, and they're saying, please stand by. Yes, sir. D-Stone's talking in English.
I'm already standing.
That's great. That's nice. I think he speaks pretty good English. A lot of it is from trash-talking Western players playing on the China pub scenes.
That's all you need.
Trash-talking Jack and his stack when they play in China.
I've been a part of that. It's a painful experience.
Is he a question marker?
Who?
D-Stones?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he pause?
He doesn't pause, but he does good game well played.
People who pause are the worst.
He does good game well played a lot.
Are you guilty of that, Lacoste?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you told me I was playing a match earlier today, and then I killed somebody, and then you were like, tip him.
Tipping's fine. Tipping's okay. Pausing.
It was the first time that I ever tipped somebody. It felt vicious. It's like Pudge comes and tries to kill me. I'm a CK. I'm just going to take you down. But enough about my pub stories and regaling you with it. We've already talked a little about what we think the first picks are going to be. Is there anything like what are the 3 picks you take away from Forward Gaming if you're Aster? Tiny feels like one.
You don't want to give them Wisp.
Okay.
Since they have a first pick.
And then is Axe the last?
What did they ban last game? They banned Tiny, Axe,
and Wisp.
No, they didn't ban Wisp. Forward banned Wisp because they were.
Oh yeah.
It was Aster first pick. I don't remember what their other ban was. It's Drow.
Was it Drow?
It was.
Who banned
Drow.
Phoenix?
Forward banned Wisp, Necro, and
right.
Phoenix. So I think this game, Forward's going to be able to get one of the Axe or the Tiny. Maybe they won't ban the Axe if Forward don't ban the Necro. Because I feel like that was the reason that they banned Axe. They saw the Necro pick and they're like, wait, they're angling for the Necro ban. And they were like, oh, they're angling for Axe. We'll ban that. You
think you let in the Invoker then? You guys think you give that
Forward.
one for Forward?
They might ban it. Maybe. Just to shake him up a little bit. I don't know. They're going to have a free ban because I think it's going to be Aster who has to ban the Wisp. So they can make the decision about what that third ban is going to be instead.
I don't know.
I think we were overdoing it. They're not going to show anything in this kind of a matchup. They're just practicing some normal Dota. Okay. That's it. Probably Aster doesn't want to lose a game, but like you want to end up with the 10-0.
Okay, I'm with you. So I think then that they're going to take Invoker Faceless Void first too.
Again?
Yeah. Well, they didn't take Faceless Void in the first phase.
No.
I'm saying first 2 picks.
Well, you could see the weaknesses of Faceless Void in the previous game. He misses a chrono, they immediately need to go back. Also, when you don't have a position 3 hero who can tank, scout things out, Zeus was scouting, but no one to tank. You don't want to just rush in with the Faceless Void, try to land a good chrono. You need someone to make mess in the front line.
Okay. The one interesting dynamic here might be that because Forward are willing to first phase the TB, like whether or not the Zeus ends up being something that Aster have to bump up in terms of priority, or if it's something that Forward consider banning. Like we're saying, they might have 1 free ban in the first phase now that we've swapped selection priority. So they could just ban the Zeus, and then that might force a TB ban, and then that's going to push something else through into the pool. So there's all kinds of different things that could happen. But like we're also saying, this could just also be a totally random match, and someone's going to pick Pudge. Who knows? That's what we saw.
Who would be the Pudge picker out of all 10 of these players? Is it a Bobica thing, you think, or is it going to be like?
I bet you Mojo plays Pudge.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Mojo Stormstat plays some Pudge.
Surely. That's a defensive hero, right? Would you call it a defensive hero?
What if they just tag
Defensive?
Yeah.
Can they just tag in Jack?
What?
Is that allowed? Is he their sub?
Just Jack Vanomancer on the Dire jungling.
That is why
triangle.
they want Dire. No, it's them that took Dire. Stuff. Pudge is a defensive hero. You hook somebody out of trouble. You
hook people out of chrono after this void pick that's happening.
You hook somebody out of problem.
You don't hook out people. You aim for that other guy who's attacking and just say sorry after, and you get a kill.
Okay.
That's how Pudge works.
You hook somebody out of problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a draft. You don't have to worry about us anymore, as we are going to hop into this one.
I'm still worried about you, Gabe. It's okay.
That's great. It's wonderful. I see you edging away from me. Oh, goodness gracious. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're going to opposite sides of the room. Anyway. All right. So, Forward Gaming. How long are they going to spend thinking about this ban? We've spent a lot of time thinking about these bans. And they're just going to ban Weaver. We didn't even bring that up at all. So, there you go.
That's the free hero.
Sometimes some teams really prioritize Weaver really high, and some just totally ignore it.
Pugna. All right, yeah, this is just a complete departure from what we saw previously. I wonder if it's like side oriented at all. I guess that it's still forward playing.
They might be trying to bait a Necro ban from Team Aster. Could be the reason why they banned out Pugna.
Oh, that's true.
And then they go for Axe or whatever they want to pick first. Maybe Phoenix, because Team Aster loves to play Phoenix, but so does Forward Gaming.
Oh, they did it.
Respect.
Ooh, okay. But now what to Aster get rid of? The Necro, the Tiny, the Phoenix, the Axe.
There's a lot of good stuff that is left in the pool right now.
Man, what happens
Marana's
if you're
still there.
looking at this team going into the playoffs and teams are first phase banning Invoker and they're still winning? Like, what the hell do you do? Oh.
Okay.
They don't ban it, so Forward decides to pick it.
I mean, they may as well take it because they were the ones that did all of the groundwork. It would feel so bad to give Necrophos away in this position after you've already banned the Pugna and the Invoker. It's like you're doing work for the enemy team. So I think they had to take the Necrophos here.
Phoenix seems like a must-have right now. It's so good against Necro because you can outrange him with the Sunray. You naturally build into Spirit Vessel as well.
Phoenix Marana, do it up.
Maybe Ogre. They could steal Marana because it's one of the better heroes against Phoenix, but I love the opening Ogre Phoenix. Both of them have a GPM talent and a lot of magical damage against Necro.
Yeah, that could actually be better too, because then you're gonna like if Forward take the Marana, then that's kind of like very heavily focused on like single target, and then you could go PL or something later for Aster.
Yeah, the other thing
they're gonna ban it out against Necro and Marana. You probably need to ban a PL.
And they might not go Marana. I think that
I don't think they're going to go Marana because I think they still want Universe on this like actual initiate, or maybe he's going to be playing the Necrophos. But my problem with the Necro Marana is it's just so meh in like the first 15 minutes of the game. You need your supports to have a lot of kill potential. Also, if they want the Shaker, I think they have to take it now.
Oh, and I think that's why you take the Ogre, right? Because you don't think that Forward want to pick this Marana.
Yeah, for sure. But I think yeah, if forward wants Shaker, they got to take it here. Ooh, okay. It's a little bit different. This could still be... This could even be end up being like position 4 Ursa.
I don't like it anymore. His third skill got nerfed so much on the cooldown. Let me just check what it is.
His third skill is Fury Swipes, isn't it?
Yes. So from...
The duration's way worse, right?
From 20 seconds to 8, 12, 16, 20.
Yeah, it got nerfed really hard. But, I mean, otherwise it's going to have to be a core with lots of room to counterpick it here, which is the only issue. So I don't know if they're trying to be clever or they just feel like they want the Ursa against
They're going to
the
level
Phoenix.
1 Roche. They're doing it for sure.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's happening.
Nah.
I know my man Jack. He's coming up with a strat. He's like, guys, don't worry. I got this. We got a plan. Level 1 Roche.
Okay, we got some more signature heroes being banned. XXS Legion Commander. Still got all the core picks remaining for Aster. What do you guys like against Ursa? Venomancer's good. Bloodseeker's not terrible. Anything that can kite him, right? That's sort of the MO against Ursa in general. Just any slows, any stuns, heroes that buy 4 staff, heroes that buy
Yeah, any
Yules.
mobility heroes. I guess that's one of the reasons why they banned out Weaver, because they were planning to do so. And it feels like Team Aster kind of fallen into their trap so far with the Necro and Ursa picks.
I think it's really cool too. Like the idea of trying to run something different in this game that's really meaningless, but it gives you a chance to come up with another answer to Phoenix and see if it actually works. You know, like just in the more macro sense of how this tournament is going to play out for them. That's really smart.
You've talked about it quite a bit, Gabe, but I think you're right that the Phoenix as a hero feels like it's starting to define the meta really hard. Like a lot of the heroes that are getting picked are because they're either good with the Phoenix or good at killing the egg. I wonder if it's something that might even start getting to the point where teams are like just willing to ban it, so then they can play almost like a different pool of heroes, because it does feel like this Phoenix is kind of bending everything around him.
I mean, we've been seeing it sometimes in the first phase, for sure.
What else we still got here? Aster could... I don't know if they want to Enigma here. I don't even know if XXS is much of a Enigma player. I think when you've got the Phoenix and the Ogre, you probably want to actually contest these lanes, right? You don't want to just sit back and deny and farm. You can actually go and make some stuff happen. They could even... I mean, they could still run position 3 Phoenix as well, right? They've still got the opportunity to do some other funky stuff in the rest of their draft.
I'm not a big fan of position 3 Phoenix. It can work if you have a good position 4 and a lot of kill potential, but he's really weak, level 1, 2, and most of the time you see other teams just pressuring him if he's playing 5 and he can't deny and he can't last hit well because of the damage.
Man,
and also
Aster,
animation is not good.
they're taking forever thinking about this pick. I think that Ursa really threw him for a loop.
I think they're also thinking about what mid lane's going to end up being, or like, do they feel like they need to ban a Phantom Lancer or something here? Is that what the Legion Commander ban is indicating? But then there's also still TB and PL in the pool, so they can only get rid of one, or they could pick one for themselves.
I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Like forward, I think that I like this Ursa a lot more as a position 4 than as a position 1, just because it's taken sort of there's going to be a lot of counters. And because of that, they're going to need more control out of those other heroes.
That's a lot of buff, again, for one hero. You have Bloodlust, you have Empower, so they need a melee hero and something that can benefit maybe from mid as well. I like Ember.
Yeah, I could definitely.
It's really
see
good
Ember
against the Necro, good kiting potential against Ursa.
Yeah.
What else? Could see like a PA maybe.
I was thinking about that, but I think it's pretty rough against Necro.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's the weird thing, right? Like, physical damage, or rather melee heroes that benefit from that are good against Necro, and it really is like mainly just Ember. I don't know if there's anybody else that you could like do an OD. Ugh.
I mean, they can still PL. It's still fine with like
For either team, right?
Sure, the
What are we
buffs.
talking
I think mostly for Aster, but like the buffs give him away a little bit potentially, but he's still a super stat-heavy hero that has pretty decent matchups here. You can buy a relatively fast nullifier or something to help deal with the Necrophos.
To be honest, if Aster wanted to, they could also go like a Dusa. And like, sure, Empower is not going to be giving you cleave, but that's a good amount of damage when you're going stat-heavy build.
Yeah, and you just sit on top of the egg as well when it's getting used in fights. Makes it very difficult to kill it off. All right. Yeah. Can't really complain about the Bane. But it's also not super interesting here either. Aster, they don't have the last overall pick, so maybe they just take their mid in this position and leave the Sylar hero a little bit later. I'm not sure.
If they want to combine Bane, Centaur, the lane is really great. Also good disengage against the egg.
My general impression of Magnus is not that
Yeah,
amazing.
we talked about Magnus when we were coming into the office today.
Yeah. He just feels really... It's just weird. Like, you're picking him for the Empower, kind of, but sometimes it's just hard to use the Empower.
Ooh.
Okay, I like this. I don't mind Monkey King against the Necrophos, actually.
Can he lane against the Ursa? Like, who wins that? They
no,
both suck.
no, Ursa.
No,
Ursa wins that
Ursa
lane.
wins.
Because now they've taken like 2 melee cores into Ursa. And as much as I was saying I liked it more in a position 4 route, like they actually could run this core now. There's 3 melee heroes on Team Aster.
Yeah, forward need a little bit more building damage, potentially, but okay. That solves that problem, just grabbing the Morphling here. Decent heroes to morph into. Pretty survivable. Like, Aster don't have a ton of instant disables, really, so he should always be able to get the morph off.
Give himself Empower.
Give himself Bloodlust.
Oh, jeez.
Ogre is a
Can't do
good,
both.
good to steal. You still get the multicast, but I guess the reason why they picked Morph is Monkey King. You just turn into Monkey and you can even stand into his ulti and trade hits.
Yeah.
We've seen that on the first Dave.
Yeah.
Well, and if you want to go the Ethereal Blade build too, you can just blow him up and the extra armor doesn't really matter that much.
Are people even buying E-Blade on that hero anymore? I feel like I never see that build.
I haven't seen it that often, but it's the type of thing.
It is a
where
possibility, yeah. It makes
better against
Monkey King. Monkey King's life pretty hard. And now the Storm Spirit ban might give us some kind of clue about what Aster are trying to run on the mid lane. I mean, they could put the Monkey King mid as well if the matchup is right, which I do think deters forward from picking anything like... I was kind of thinking about like DK for them before they picked the Morphling, but I don't know if that's the case.
Radiant team picked.
Forward really do not have much disable either. I mean, I guess it's single target with Bane, but I guess team fight is the better thing, I should say. They have like no big AoE abilities.
They need either an off lane and then put Ursa on 4, or just get a position 4 hero right now.
If the matchup is right as well, they can put the Morphling mid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, are you already accounting for that? Yeah. Morphling mid, off lane, Necro safe lane, presumably Ursa 4, or they can grab another 4 and Ursa's in the safe lane or the off lane. Do you still like the Ember for Aster as a possibility?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's still good
With
here.
Magnus, just put Monkey King on the safe lane. Well, it's going to depend what the forward is going to pick. They have only 5 seconds left.
Yeah, Aster don't have any reserve time left either. Both teams using a lot of it. and
Literally just thinking Tinker.
Tanker.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
it's
they
gonna be
banned out
Morphling
Zeus.
safe.
Okay. This lineup is weird. Just really weird. Also greedy.
It's super greedy. Ursa 4, Tinker, Morphling, they need a lot of time to actually get the items. Same goes for Necro.
Well, if last game is any indication, they will have it.
They actually used the ban from Team Aster on Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I think this Ember is kind of an obvious pickup here.
So they have like a couple...
The lane's not great, but I don't think it matters, really, right? Like, Ember's just going to get levels and then just go gank, catch up with the Empower.
They have like a couple of different ways to find the Tinker, too. I was thinking, like, maybe they do just Tinker here. But like with Phoenix being able to dive in and sort of like get some extra vision there with like a Shiva's later. We've seen Bobica consistently get that level of farm. And then of course Ember being able to scout things out, and Monkey King, like this Tinker might end up dying a lot.
Maybe. This is an Excalibur Tinker.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's known for Meepo, he's known for Tinker.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I love Aster's lineup way more. They have a Monkey King who can scout out things for Tinker. Same goes for Phoenix and Ember Spirit as well. I'm just afraid they don't have enough tower damage. They're gonna need to take a fight and then try to go for objectives because they really have 0 tower damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to see who it is that's gonna come out on top and who it is that's gonna be able to come out on top as well in the MVP voting. You guys are gonna decide. So who is it? Who's the MVP? I could listen to that music all day. And in fact, we have. As we hop into this game number 2, it is Forward Gaming facing off against Team Aster here. ESL One group stages, the final match. After this, we do have a best of 3. It's going to be upper bracket action as well. I'm not sure who it is that we're going to be casting, but we'll find out
Is it upper bracket
shortly.
or lower bracket? It was up. We were thinking upper bracket going into the day. I think
It is, I believe, upper bracket.
Okay.
That's
Well-
what was listed out in the list schedule, at least. So,
Okay.
regardless, though, we have a match right now in front of us.
Yeah.
And it's going to be wonderful.
Playoffs hype.
I think as far as what we've seen so far, this is the type of game that has gone long for both of these teams. They're comfortable going into the late game, but is either side really on a timer more so than the other?
I don't really think so, to be honest. I think both of these teams can go pretty darn late. Yeah, to me it's not. I don't know about you, Lucas, but it doesn't. I'm not looking at it as like, oh, once we get past 45 minutes or 60 minutes, like
We
one
lost.
team has
Yeah,
a clear.
no.
We lost, but yeah, I don't think either of the teams have too many problems.
It feels like this Tinker is gonna be problem if they can't catch him. Also, I'm looking at the items. Fenrir with Stout Shield, Tango, and Orb of Venom.
Oh my
Magnus
God.
has Empower, so he just wants to beat up people.
This is going to be a fun little lane for them.
So Bobica is playing position 5 right now, but they might just swap things around. This is a kind of a thing that I want to see. You give priority to position 5 because he can trade better hits. Phoenix doesn't pressure lane early on, level 1, 2, and then he just switches back to position 4.
Yeah, and there aren't really any items that the Phoenix is going to buy with his gold early on that are super useful, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to buy a Blightstone. He's not useful with boots. Even a Windlace or like a Ring of Protection is not super helpful.
He just needs regen, that's
Yeah.
it.
Meanwhile, the Stout Shield and the Orb of Venom for the Ogre are huge upgrades.
Uh-oh. Got to be careful here, MSS, as well as Ogre. So MSS going for the boots first does kind of create a conundrum for Mr. Fenrir. Although he's going to Bloodlust himself. And now...
Budget boots.
He's hitting who? A little bit of battling going on here. Trading hits with the Fury Swipe. Always a little bit scary. Is MSS comfortable keeping up the aggression? And, well, thought about going under the tower there.
What is going on here?
They're having a good old time.
It's already under the tower, which is a little bit interesting. Excalibur doing really well on the CS. Oh, look at this. Can he get all of them? All of the
God.
CS. Tinker God.
Unwritten rule of Dota. When you use laser, you need to get a last hit and deny, or just 2 denies, 2 last hits.
Oh, he missed one. He gets that one.
Still 7 out of 8 in the first 2 waves. That's pretty darn good.
Who writes those unwritten rules?
Nobody.
Dota
does.
community. I mean,
Okay.
they're unwritten, so
That's fair. Oh, sleight of fist. Picking it up. Stone's doing it. I was trying to test you there, by the way, about the unwritten part.
What's the build for the Ember this game, do you think? Do you like the Yules? Some people really like Yules on Ember. Some people think it's useless. Maelstrom is very common.
they kind of lack catch. So I think Yules should be fine. Also good against the Ursa. If you find Tinker, deal the damage into Maelstrom, you're gonna have Empower, so you're gonna farm a lot.
Is the Tread Blade Mill just dead? Oh, Necro, top lane. What's it going down? But yeah, no more Treads Blade Mill?
No, I don't
Not
think
against
so.
this kind of a lineup.
And the Veil build is also seemingly completely dead. I mean, that only really existed while he had the magic damage
On 10.
talent. Yeah. Well, the overpowered version of the magic damage talent. So like, was it 30% or something? It was.
I think that's too high.
don't think it was
it was
30,
like 15, maybe 12. I don't know. They twerked the numbers after.
It was 75%. That was definitely.
75% bonus magical damage. Oh boy.
Oh, breaking salves. D-Stones, never mind. Flame Guard, fancy, fancy.
Yeah, T-Stone's not doing too badly on this mid lane, actually. But, I mean, Excalibur's still getting a lot of farm.
He's got DD too. He should dominate the CS here. I think every one now of these ones should go to him, right? I was waiting to see.
DD Tinker, laser in a couple of seconds. He should be careful. Oh, nice
Fogged
juke.
him.
Jeez. And now Fenrir in some trouble. Going to get pummeled here and throws out the Ignite, trying to get the slow. Is it going to be enough? They do find that kill.
Universe very happy about that, getting those stacks.
Well, in the meantime, down bottom here,
Dire's top tower is under
Bobica making
attack.
his wrap around, should be able to pull this creep wave past here in the second and get it back behind his own tower.
Radiant are scanning.
Although Excalibur trying to survive here against D-Stones, Fairy Fires abound. He was never going to have enough there.
That should not happen. You have 8 CS advantage plus 7 more denies, and he still solo kills you. All right. Well, that should not happen as well.
Oh boy.
See you on Reddit, D-Stones.
Well,
I mean, that tower should attack the melee creep,
creeps.
right?
I feel like that's one that's going to tilt somebody, right? Like, if that happens to me, I'm like, what the heck? Bobica?
Look, D-Stones played that Invoker game and he didn't tilt.
That's
But-
true.
So I think he's...
He's diving in on a mid lane. He's gonna get another kill on Excalibur.
Oh my god. Fairy Fires, live in, stick charges there as well. He did the math.
Well, maybe he just wanted to die there because it makes more sense. He didn't get the XP.
That's true.
And he just TP's back full.
Yeah. I mean, it did look weird
See you on
because...
Reddit, casters.
I think it's one of those things too, though, where like it didn't. Maybe he did intentionally draw aggro to it because it looked like the creep should have attacked. Should have been the thing that was attacked by the tower.
Yeah, he may have moved his camera across the map and ordered an attack on a hero to aggro the tower onto himself.
I stand by my laugh. I'm willing to take the heat on that one. Uh-oh. Chains, Chase, Excalibur. I mean, that's just gonna happen.
He bought a bottle. He's fine.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that March of the Machines, he might have been able to get the salve off, actually, and still live.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Tinker didn't use any spells, just stand on mid without doing anything. And it also forced the rotation from Bane.
Yeah. And the Ursa came mid there as well. There's a little bit of a longer movement in. And right now, D-Stone's almost level 7, while Excalibur stuck on 5.
Oh man, Rez on bottom lane. Level 5, brown boots, morbid mask. He doesn't need to go to base ever, unless they kill him. And he can deny a lot. 17 denies already, because Magnus doesn't pressure the lane. And Phoenix is really weak early on. They even rotated Phoenix top.
Uh-oh, the block in. XXS kind of stuck in no man's land. Did have the skewer, but did not want to use it. Now chasing Bobica. Still holding on to Icarus dive.
Mid lane again. Man, D-Stone's playing so aggressive, using remnants constantly. Level 5 against level 7. No runes.
So it's kind of hard for the forward supports as well, right? Because there's this constant threat of the Ember Spirit diving mid. They kind of have to hold up their TPs, and they don't want to get their TPs forced in a situation where, like, the TPs are just being baited, right? He's not even going for the kill. So, pretty tough.
Looks like we did get some stacks there onto the camps for the Tinker. And in the meantime, Fenrir going to make his walk around and potentially getting ready to dive this one. They jump in with the Phoenix, who dies to the tower, but they will manage to find 1 kill at the very least as SVG dies, or rather gets the kill on Fenrir. And MSS showing up. D-Stone's now stuck in a problem as well. Chasing this guy down. Looks like there is going to be a eventual kill here. Oh, nice chains, but the brain sap was enough.
Man, D-Stones, I don't remember seeing someone play this aggressive for a really long time.
I don't think that was worth it that time around, but...
I mean, all the rotations, too?
Bane is almost level 6, 8 minutes in.
Yeah.
Has mana boots.
Yeah, SVG is... the SVG has certainly been less farmed than this at like 20 minutes into the game at various points. 8-minute rune coming up. Playing around the objectives. A little arcaner in there, but looks like MSS is going to be the one to grab it.
I mean, I'm still looking at this and seeing, like, D-Stone's getting a lot of levels, and then both of the side lanes look like they're doing really, really well. So even though they are losing out some on the Morph lane, like, this stuff's looking okay. And now turning on to SVG, Sylar is going to be able to get the regen off of that, walking away from MSS, still living for the moment. Is he going to be able to survive? Looks like yes for now, although more damage coming in. The slow is there as well, and Sylar living ends up going down.
He still had 2 heal charges there.
Yeah, couldn't quite get in range.
Yeah, but he had like 7 or 8 Fury Swipe charges.
Yeah. But wasn't he next to some creeps? Or are those all dire
He could have
creeps?
just run away.
Yes, that was also the other option.
Sometimes the simplest option is the best one. Meanwhile, the biggest winner on the bottom lane, Morphling, 65 CS and 30 denies.
D-Stones has to be careful here. Bane has grip. He just got it off of that creep.
Could get nightmared, TP comes in, gets Fiend's gripped, easy kill for resolution or something.
I mean, even just the brain sap, like with the Fiend script going, could potentially kill him off. He's not at very high HP. Nightmare.
Rezo with the TPs.
There's going to be the
Basket
grip.
God with the prediction.
It's easy peasy.
He even gets the last hit.
I mean, that's the way that's worth it, right? For him to rotate all the way over, pick up the extra gold, and he's just gonna book it straight down to bottom.
10 minutes, 74 last hits with 27 denies. Resolution pretty good at Dota.
Yeah. This is what they need to do, right? They just give Resolution the 1v5 hero, make his game nice and easy, and hope that he can carry it out.
And there are no counters for Morphling in this game. Like, he's the one who's countering Monkey King. Phoenix is actually playing... Is he playing 5 or is he just so poor? He bought the tome for himself.
I mean, he's got less gold than the Ogre.
He's broke as a joke. Look at his GPM talent. He's going to be the one that gets more of the gold because he takes the tome.
Trying to rotate with Sylar. Okay.
The scary thing about SVG for the rest of this game is getting that 6 so early. He can just use his abilities off cooldown to set up kills.
This is the one problem that you brought up talked earlier, Lacoste, right, is that they're just garbage at taking buildings on the side of Aster, especially against a Tinker. So.
Yeah, and Tinker is gonna get boots of travel in less than 300 gold, unless he dies now.
Yeah, that's a problem. So they'll find Excalibur, and well, that's a decent chunk of gold that's going to be gone from him now. So 10 to 8, but it is still a 3,000 gold lead for Forward Gaming in spite of that Tinker death, and it's really off the back of this Morph lane who's just kind of taken over. No points yet in Morph, a little bit surprising, but just allow him to farm that much more quickly. Fenrir, no TP, in trouble, and Resolution gets the kill.
Mana boots as well. With Mask, he can just continue farming both lane and jungle. Already has Dragonlance. Jesus Christ.
I know.
Yeah, he's really big.
Stacked.
Do you like this really fast Hurricane Pike that it seems like he's going for?
Yeah, he can position himself well, even if he goes in with the waveform, plays aggressively, just get out of the Monkey King's ulti, get away from Searing Chains.
I mean, again, it's like so many melee heroes. 4 melee heroes on Aster.
Yeah. You gotta give the Ogre the added power as well. That's the real strat here. Get some farm going.
But it's like, I think 4 staffs are going to be great. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see Tinker pick one up.
Yeah, could even be an option.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, the Necro has one queued. So D-Stones, in the meantime, looks like he's going to be going for the Yules, but he's going to be going for the death first as they find the Fiend's Grip and see if they can get the last hit. Yes, they do. Resolution killing him off again. Blink Dagger done for Mag. I have a feeling they wanted to get the kill without, but could be tough with the Ember on.
Oh, did I see Excalibur?
Instead, they're going to move in and find MSS, but he just enrages, turns on to Sylar, now trying to get the kill, and is going to be able to take him down, and now turning onto the Egg. It looks like they're going to be able to kill off that as well. Forward Gaming just running over folks, and hit the Reaper site, MSS lives.
You asked about the matchup, Ursa against Monkey King. If this was a matchup 1 versus 1 where he maxes Fury swipes, like Monkey King can't lane at all. This is more farmed Monkey than Ursa, and this is gonna get him closer to his Blink Dagger. Just gonna pop the Shrine, keep farming.
Just this hero's natural damage output is just so high. Like, he doesn't even really have that many items. Sure, he's got the phase boots, but Monkey King just getting totally shredded. I'm not even... Sylar's got this Battle Fury queued up.
You don't want to go for Battle Fury when you have Mag in your team.
Just get an Echo Saber first or something, right? Echo
Yeah.
Saber, SNY. Could even get a Shadow Blade if you wanted this game.
And if he had, let's say, Ogre Axe there, he would have lived.
Yeah, for sure.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, it looks like Magnus.
Everyone's settling in for a long game. They haven't taken a single tier 1 tower against the Tinker yet, and they didn't have good building push to begin with. So it seems like Aster are just resigning themselves to, if they're going to win this, it's going to take them a very long time.
Are any other Midases queued up besides the Mags? Just his, it looks like. Oh no. Oh no. Run away. SVG. Looks like he is going to get caught. Shane's there. Brain Sap. He has Fiend's Grip in a second. Does he decide to turn this one? No, it's too much. Much too much.
There's nobody nearby. Oh. Trying to get that TP out of his backpack, but it wouldn't have helped.
Are fortified.
Hashtag space created as mid lane. Resolution gonna try and finish off this creep wave. Push the tower a little bit. Almost killing off Bobica there.
Is under attack.
All right, nice. I like this from Sylar. I don't think the Battle Fury was going to do anything. Just applies Shadow Blade.
Have to agree. I'm not a big fan of Battle Fury on Monkey King in general, especially when you have Magnus in team.
He hasn't taken any points in his ulti yet.
He might get it the next 2 levels, so he gets the first and second points, 11 and 12.
Resolution in mid, gets pulled back in there, and is he going to go down? Does he get the switch over? He's trying to switch over to strength form, and waveform out of there.
Bike.
Gonna be fine. Oh my god, he is so low, but not gonna die. And now they managed to find themselves no kills, except for the Bane. And waveform forward, now in trouble. Phoenix is just dead. Resolution switches back over. He might end up going down here finally, although they jump in with MSS trying to find themselves a kill. Resolution able to escape yet again, but there's going to be the damage coming in. He needs to hit some creeps.
Ignite is going to kill him
as well, trying to survive. He waveform, and it is eventually going to kill him off.
Oh, fairy fire in a backpack. Oof.
I thought maybe he could try and like right-click creeps to get the lifesteal too.
Yeah, he tried to use waveform to just mitigate some of the damage of Ignite over time.
Well, there you go. That max Ignite build for Fenrir doing some work.
It's good against the Necro, the slow, the damage.
Gives him a nice little chunk of change as well.
God, that took everything though, and they didn't even get the Morphling the first time around. It's a little bit worrying if you're Aster in this situation.
Yeah.
And they still don't get anything afterwards. They just have to keep farming their side of the map. Don't have any inroads towards the forward gaming side. And if this game drags long enough, this Ursa is just going to be a core, right? He doesn't farm fast, but
he has a Blink Dagger. It also opens up the Roche for them. Not the best one, since he has only level 1 Fury swipes. But once he gets a Basher, he can kill any core on the map.
It's been a little while since we've seen the Ursa being played in the position 4 role, but still does what you need it to do. As you said, moving in towards Roche now, trading aggro over with Resolution. But it is going to be the first Aegis going their direction unless Aster can get here in time. They're bringing in a couple of heroes, trying to find their opening. Ember is also going to be the sleep on to one, but it all comes a bit too late now, and well, Tinker in the area. Asters need to back out.
Yeah. Got the Yules on the Ember now, so that's going to help him hunt the Tinker a little bit more, but still not very farmed on the whole. And this Morphling is so scary.
Oh, Fiend's Grip from the low ground. Got to be careful. Could go for it. Quite on the mark, and chasing down Fenrir here. Switches over into the Ogre himself and gonna get the Force Staff forward, goes in for the kill, and that max Ignite does not feel so good anymore.
6,000 network lead for forward gaming. Not bad.
Yeah, they're doing really well. Just Aster's trying to scramble and find farm wherever they can, but they can't really fight into the Tinker March of the Machines right now. Excalibur can always just TP in behind the Morphling and lay down a couple of marches.
Yeah, that was a weird Reaper sight.
Oh, Sylar looks like he will get out.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, I mean, this is the scary thing, right? Is that D-Stones, even though he's got this Yule Scepter, it still doesn't protect him against, like, Bane just catching you out of position. Like, Fiend's Grip is always going to be a problem for him, unless he goes for something like a Lincoln's.
Yep. What did we think this Monkey King pick was for again this game? Just because it utilizes the Empower and the Bloodlust pretty well. I don't know what hero I would have liked more than the Monkey King, but I'm just trying to evaluate it a little bit.
I mean, the Ember was the one we talked about, which they did go for.
Yeah, they went for it anyway.
You could go in something like the PA, like you're talking about, but I don't know. It's still tough because all the right clickers don't deal well with Ember necessarily. You know what they could have done? Wraith King, and then go level 1 Roche.
Radiant's middle tower.
You really love this level 1 Roche Gambit game.
I haven't seen level 1 Roche for such a long time.
What tipped you off to it, man?
Radiant's bottom tower is
Did you ever suggest to your team in pub to go level 1 Roche?
I have.
How did that end? Getting 4 reports.
I don't know. I haven't done it since the Roshan pit was on the opposite side of the map. That's the last time I've seen.
So there's a strat actually that I run.
Oh yeah.
Nature's Prophet, Abaddon, Luna, Drow, and Venge.
You can do, well, in the past, you could do level 1 Roshan with any 3 heroes and Nature's Prophet and Luna.
Right.
That was one of my favorite strats.
Well, so the strat doesn't end at the level 1 Rosh. Then it's just 5 heroes run down
right.
mid. That's the good one. Speaking of running down mid, Forward Gaming taking a tier 2 tower. No response right now at all from Aster. And I don't know if they really have one. This is Aegis. He's good to go.
Their lineup gets stronger when they have their backs up against the high ground, so I think that's what Aster are kind of playing for right now. They can get skewers into the base, makes it easier to position the egg, you know, get a good RP skewer kind of a thing. So it makes total sense that they don't contest those tier 2s at all. There's no real reason to.
Forward Gaming, are they going to be comfortable just leaving it here? Are they going to try and push the tempo a little bit as they move up onto the high ground? Resolution hitting the tower, switches into the Ogre. Now no more blinks for you. And when the Magnus blinks away, Resolution moves into position,
gets the multicast. Like, that stuff's broken.
As Hero is very good at it. And switches back into the Ogre, gonna Bloodlust. Throw out some Ignites if he wants to. Root, fine. And still, they take a tier 3 tower. The Tinker holding on right behind him. Yep.
Yeah, so just don't seem to be able to fight. I don't know what they do against this Tinker. They need to somehow like coordinate a jump with the Ember hunting the Tinker, but then also the RP going off on somebody useful. The problem is that they can't really RP the Morphling. Morphling is the only one that they're hanging out in front, and he's got this a ton of HP, and he's got the Aegis as well.
They could burst him. I think Aegis is going to be gone in 2 seconds. If they RP Skewer into Monkey King's stun, I think that's enough. Also, there's a Spirit Vessel on Phoenix, but sadly no charges.
Aster recognizing the timing of when it would come out, and they're going to run right into SVG, who is going to try and tank the gank. XXS looking for a big RP, and they're kind of going to into a position where they could oblige him. A buyback from the Bane as well. And they're trying to take this fight. They're moving in. XXS. SVG is just going to die again. He's got to be very careful here. So they're thinking about chasing forward for more. Blink. Not quite connecting. And Forward Gaming. Wise to the tricks of Aster are going to back out.
That's one big Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's a gorilla, actually.
Is the Ember also going for a BKB here? Is that the... No, I'm still going for Maelstrom. The BKB is pretty nice when you've got the Flame Guard talent, the bonus damage, because it means that there's just no way to dispel Flame Guard at all. So it's basically like having a free Radiance when you pick that. But
not a big fan of BKB against almost Basher finished on Ursa against Morphling as well. Like, he's pretty much all physical damage right now, and Bane's Fiend's Grip. Maybe he needs to get a Lincoln Sphere after.
Yeah, true.
So he can try to kite. Shiva's Guard is going to be good, just for more reveal where the Tinker is.
I mean, it's sort of tough and weird, right? Because the Tinker hasn't even ended up being the biggest issue in this.
Yeah,
it's
Tinker's
really
not
Rezo.
playing aggressive at all. Like, this game is on Universe, and SVG, Bane did some good rotations, plus Rezo, who pretty much free-farmed on the bottom lane. They stopped that lane.
Force Staff trying to keep the Ursa alive, and Wukong's command down.
Yeah, having these really fast Force Staffs on the cores is so nice for forward. Like, even if an RP or something comes out, there's always going to be the opportunity to Force Staff the person back to safety, or Force Staff them out of the way of the skewer as well. Always a possibility.
I mean, it's just like, they just keep on running away from Aster whenever they try and commit these big fights, and then slowly pick them off one by one.
Yeah, still got to be careful about the big AoE team fight potential, though, right? Multi-man RP into Wukong's command Supernova.
But that's the thing I mean, is that like this is, Forward are doing a really good job of always backing out when
100%.
it starts. And,
Yeah,
like,
every time they're not exposing any heroes that can't survive. Just getting the items that they need.
And there you go.
Oh, big skewer into RP.
And D-Stone's trying to escape. He is going to end up falling. XXS threw out the RP to try and save his Ember, but it's only going to end up meaning he dies as well. Reaper's Scythe down, both cores dead.
It's a nice idea, but
They need to bring more heroes.
yeah. Oh God. Double damage Morphling.
Yeah, that's not pretty.
Yeah. Resolution just charging straight forward. Not a whole lot that he really has to be afraid of.
I like the talent choice, too, by Universe, going for the Ghost Shroud slow.
Most of the people pick that up nowadays. So,
Yeah?
yeah. Like
thought it was the
40 dead pulse heal.
It's very mediocre.
mediocre, yeah.
Meantime, Resolution making use of this DD.
Yeah.
And Sylar just needs to make something happen here, but the tier 3 tower already down super low. MSS jumps in, wasn't quite able to find the full connection though as he gets force staffed away. His teammates keeping this buddy alive.
These force staffs are so game winning for forward gaming. Like, MSS was so deep after jumping in on top of Baboka. It seemed like he was going to be completely isolated from his team, and then they just double force staff him back to safety. It's fine.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Roche still a little ways away, about a minute. 9,000 gold lead, 27 minutes into this. Forward gaming. Just feeling in complete control. And this is a very different from what we saw last time too, where it was like they were in control a little bit early on, but then it started to fall apart, and Aster always felt like they had the better late game lineup. I think that as long as these guys are even, or relatively uneven terms,
Radiant are scanning.
Forward should be able to compete for sure.
Yeah, I really think forward having the first pick this game ended up meaning quite a bit in terms of how the draft played out, and being able to open up this opportunity to give Rezo the game-winning hero without any opportunities to, without enough opportunities to counterpick. So the draft working out really well for them this game. Still, we have seen, I mean, if OG have proven that the Magnus Ember Spirit can prevail in situations where it seems like it has no right to. So have to look out for that. But oh, this Hex on the Tinker is going to be pretty scary.
I mean, that's the thing. They've basically been winning this game with Excalibur doing nothing in the team fights.
Yep.
And now that he's actually starting to come online, it's another threat. So
They know Roshan is up, so they need to take a fight. Like, they have a sick team fight control in the Roche pit, but the problems are these two force staffs.
and it's really hard for them to take it themselves too. Like, you have a lot of right-click damage, but it's not going to be fast. Ward's placed down, gonna spot out the Monkey King. Oh, quick jump out of there, Sylar. That was very close to death.
They still haven't even taken this tier 1 mid. The Tinker pick is so frustrating. It's 30 minutes and the tier 1's still standing.
Monkey King needs to be careful here. If he jumps down to the south, he might just get taken out, and SVG gonna reveal himself. Monkey King, full vision.
When he's bloodlusted, he's easier to spot.
All right, they get a kill. Not bad. No buyback on the Bane either.
Yeah, that was a dieback from Bane, if you want to call it. He bought back in the previous fight, so extra 25 seconds added on a death timer.
Halberd on this Phoenix.
Oh.
Okay, that's going to be pretty helpful, both against the Morphling and the Ursa.
I mean, I feel like it's worth it just to try and take out that Phoenix at the start of the fight, because like Spirit Vessel and Halberd just destroy Morph.
The one thing that is a little bit weird about for forward gaming is how they initiate. That's sort of the downside of having the Necrophos as your offlaner.
Oh, BKB by Rezo.
And for the jump here, able to find one, just immediately eliminated from the fight. Sylar gonna buy back now. And D-Stones catching on to this Ursa. It's already used Enrage, so needs to get out of there. And Ember's still doing a bit more damage, but they're not fully gonna commit yet. But they got a buyback.
They can't take this Roche.
Well, they think they can.
You're playing against a Tinker. He's gonna just keep spamming things, more of sending illusions.
Kill off those illusions.
Roche alone is doing so much damage.
Able to find chains now on to the Necro, but that's just going to be a dead Sylar. That's a dieback for him. Up on the high ground, they found the egg. It's going to drop. And they still have the Ember. There's a big RP, though. Is it going to be enough damage? D-Stones can't quite get in time, and they don't blow him up. Instead, it's D-Stones that goes down. Oh, XXS found the big initiation. They do take down Excalibur as well, but Rezo, the big bad boss, ultra kill.
He just baited these stones to come back into the fight and try to do something after that amazing RP.
Oh,
but the problem is Sylar was dead. He still had 9 second
Thank you
BKB.
for waveforming it and making him crash.
Was it even waveform? I think Resolution was still just in ogre form, and he ran up to like hit it once as the ogre, and so it thunderclapped. Oh my god. Well, that's all right. Resolution's had such a good game. Anyway, I think we can excuse the one mistake.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think these two teams, Aster and Forward Gaming, pretty similar in the way that they rely on their carry players, and Sylar just feels like he hasn't had any kind of a game here. It's been a pretty wonky series for him, to be honest. I didn't feel like the Faceless Void performance was that amazing in the previous game, and Resolution is just playing out of control this game. No counters for his Morphling.
But the problem is for Monkey King in this game, he has no save heroes. On the other side, you have Bane who can save you. You have 2 Force Staff, so it's so much easier to play a carry.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that it again goes back to the problem of like 4 melee heroes. And granted, you do also have Empower if you can find that big RP, but when they found it, everybody was dead or not quite in full position. And Resolution jumps forward the Boundless Strike. He is going to be stuck for a moment trying to turn around. They burn through the Aegis. Okay, what else can they get now? Sylar being controlled. He's coming back in a moment. There's the Hex out. Phoenix is gone. Sylar almost dead, and they are eventually going to be able to find that kill through the BKB. Resolution takes down yet another. In spite of his death through the Aegis, he is still coming out strong, and GG is called. Aster can bleed.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Forward Gaming reaching up towards the upper echelons of this group and notching a win. Yep.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I will say that it felt like a very different series than a lot of the other ones that we've had. Maybe some of that was because there wasn't actually anything left on the line for them. But nonetheless, within the game, they were all trying very hard. Clearly.
They are trying.
It's
Yes,
still
especially
it's still a
Forward
serious
Gaming.
draft as well, I think. Like,
Yeah, it is.
that's it. I do feel like, but it was different. You can feel the difference between Aster when there was still playing for the #1 spot and now not playing for this. But yeah, got to give Forward Gaming some props. I feel like they all played well. MSS, we doubted the Ursa a little bit, but I feel like he played fantastically. Got a fast blink. Saw that solo, not even a solo kill, but like the kill in the middle of 4 heroes on the mid lane, bringing down Sylar. That was super cool. So
They literally won game 4 versus 5 without Excalibur doing nothing. Then he hexed Monkey King 2 times, and that's it. Game over.
They scythed him once, and that was it.
I mean, he still did the most damage on his team, but it was like significantly less than you normally see on a Tinker. 16,000 versus the 15,000 on the Resolution.
Yeah, he just had to be there to lay down some marches, press rockets a couple of times,
push out the side waves, do that type of thing. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the group stage here at ESL One Hamburg. Stay tuned, though, because there is more action coming. We've got a best of 3 up next. We need to wait to see who it is that's playing in that one. But we'll be back in just a little bit, everybody. More from ESL One Hamburg right after this.